Okay, here we go. Series finale. It's not the end, but it kind of feels like it. Here we go, crew. Engage.
That was an incredible program.
I am glad you approve. I've always found the Black Sea at night to be a most stimulating experience.
Look at her fancy outfits.
The most you can say is stimulating.
It was
Romantic?
very stimulating. Perhaps before there is a next time, we should discuss, Commander Riker. If you and I are going to continue, I do not wish to hurt his feelings.
I think it's all right to concentrate on our feelings, yours and mine.
Counselor, what's today's date?
Stardate 47988.
47988. I don't know how or why, but I'm moving back and forth through time.
We'd love a time warp loop escape in Star Trek. Man, they like to just tease us with those kisses, don't they? It's like a Disney movie. The movie better have the same music. It's time to comment on Riker and Troy and Worf. To be fair, Riker had 7 seasons. I know they had a history when she first got on the ship and whatnot, but nothing has happened. Why? Riker cannot be mad at Worf because he's literally never done anything about it, if he did have feelings for her. Worf and Troy. Remember in that last episode where he said, I can't imagine a world, or she said, I can't imagine a world where we're not together.
I was somewhere in the past. It's like waking up from a nightmare. It was years ago. It was before I took command of the Enterprise. And then it all changed. I was no longer in the past. I was now an old man in the future. I was outside and I was doing something. I'm sorry, it's all gone. I just can't remember.
Have you considered the possibility that this was just a dream?
No, it was much more than a dream. The smells, the sounds, the very touch of things.
How long did you spend in each time period? Did it seem like minutes? Hours?
At first, I had a sense of confusion, disorientation. I wasn't sure where I was. And then all of that passed, and it all seemed perfectly natural. As though I belonged in that time.
Kind of like what happened when he went for decades.
Captain Picard to the bridge. Captain, we've got a problem with the warp core or the phase inducers.
Geordie.
Hello, Captain.
Where's his eyes?
How long has it been?
9 years.
No. Since you last called me Captain.
Close to 25 years.
25 years. Time has been good to you.
A little too good in some places. Can I give you a hand here?
I'm just tying up some vines.
He's back in France, maybe?
My wife is quite a gardener.
What about the little ones?
Well, they're not so little anymore. Brett is applying to Starfleet Academy next year.
So what brings you here?
Oh, I just thought I'd stop by.
Geordie, you don't make the trip from Rigel 3 to Earth just to drop by.
Leah's got a few friends at Starfleet Medical. Word gets around.
Irremotic syndrome can take years to run its course.
I know. Once I heard, I just wanted to stop by just the same.
Well, now that you're here, you can help me carry those tools. Well, my cooking may not be up to Leah's standards, but I can still make a decent cup of tea. I read your last novel.
Beverly will make you dinner if she's inside.
Captain? Would this be your first time on a Galaxy-class starship? Are you all right, sir? Sir?
Tasha.
This will be my first time on board.
What's going on?
Have I done something wrong, sir?
Just that you look very familiar.
And there she is.
I was just with Tasha in the shuttle.
You better not be getting sick.
I think you just enjoy waking everybody up in the middle of the night.
Actually, I really like running around the ship in my bare feet.
I scanned you for evidence of Irremotic syndrome, as you suggested. There wasn't any. But I did find a small structural defect in the parietal lobe. It's the kind of defect that would only show up on a level 4 neurographic scan. It could cause you to be susceptible to several kinds of neurological disorders, including aromatic syndrome. Many people continue to live normal lives for a long time after the onset of aromatic syndrome.
Why do you look as if you just signed my death sentence?
I'm sorry. I guess it caught me off guard.
Something tells me that you're going to have to put up with me for a long time.
Well, it won't be easy, but I'll manage.
Keep touching. Okay.
Has Worf found anything?
They're still checking the sensor logs, but there is no indication ever left the ship.
There's an incoming transmission from Admiral Nakamura. It is a Priority 1 message.
Will you route the call through to Dr. Crusher's office?
Aye, sir.
We're so close again.
Starfleet intelligence has picked up some alarming reports from the Romulan Empire. It appears that at least 30 warbirds have been pulled from other assignments and are headed for the neutral zone.
Is there any explanation why they would make such a blatantly aggressive move?
Our operatives on Romulus have indicated that there appears to be something happening in the neutral zone, specifically in the Devron system. Own long-range scans have picked up some kind of spatial anomaly in the area.
What are our orders?
This is a very delicate situation. I am deploying 15 starships along our side of the neutral zone. I want you to go there as well. See if you can find out what is going on in the Devron system.
Okay.
But do not cross the border unless they do.
Captain,
Not again.
This is not my time.
you've been right here with me.
No! It was a long time ago. There was someone talking. I was back on the Enterprise. At least I think that's where it was. I was in sickbay. He's beginning to lose his mind, the old man. Well, it's not that.
So what do you want to do about it?
I want to see Data. He can help.
Help how?
I don't know! I want to see Data.
Poor man. What are with these Vikings?
You see them, don't you?
See who?
They're laughing at me.
Let's go see Data.
We'll go see Data.
I can't deal with him losing his mind right now, guys. He's still my captain.
It was real. I was there.
How'd you like your tea?
Tea? Earl Grey, hot. I must say, this is a fine place you have here. Certainly treat professors very well at Cambridge.
Holding the Lucasian chair does have its perquisites. This house originally belonged to Sir Isaac Newton when he held the position. It's become the traditional residence.
Is he in a velvet robe?
Data, what is it with the hair anyway?
I found that a touch of gray adds an air of distinction.
You said this is Earl Grey. I'd swear that it was Darjeeling.
How long has it been since you've seen a doctor about your aromatic syndrome?
Week. They prescribed Peridaxon.
But, sir, Peridaxon...
Yes, I know. It's not a cure. There's nothing that can prevent the deterioration of the synaptic pathways. You think that I'm senile? That all this is just a delusion?
No.
Now, come on, Captain. No one said anything of the kind.
The thought has occurred to me. However, there's nothing to disprove what you're saying.
Guys.
Captain, we'll get to the bottom of this.
That's the Data that I remember. I knew that I could count on you.
Commanding officer, Enterprise, arriving.
So Captain Jean-Luc Picard, stardate 41148.
I couldn't see him like this on X-Men and Logan. I can't see him like this now.
Command of the USS Enterprise, as of this date, signed Rear Admiral Nora Sati, Starfleet Command. All crew to battle stations.
You heard him? Move!
What is... I don't... Okay, here's the thing. We've literally had like 10 episodes of this time traveling, different dimensions, jumping through space.
I have decided not to inform this crew of my experiences. It's true that I've traveled to the past. I cannot risk giving them foreknowledge of what's to come.
We've detected no unusual readings or anomalies.
With all due respect, sir, it would be helpful if we knew exactly what we were looking for.
You sense anything unusual on board the Enterprise? Perhaps an alien presence that doesn't belong here. Maybe one operating on a level of intelligence far superior to our own.
No, sir. I'm only aware of the crew and the families on board the ship.
Mr. Worf, initiate a level 2 security alert all decks until further notice.
With all due respect, sir, I'm the security chief on the ship. Unless you're planning to make a change.
No, of course not. Lieutenant, security alert 2.
Aye, sir.
Oh, because in his time it's Worf and...
It appears a number of vessels are moving toward the neutral zone between Romulan and Federation space.
What kind of vessels?
Same thing that's happening in the other thing.
It could be a Romulan trick to lure our ships into the neutral zone.
Starfleet's cancelling our mission to Farpoint Station and ordering us to the neutral zone as soon as we leave the space dock.
No, we'll proceed to Farpoint.
Captain, the security of the Federation could be at stake.
Mr. Worf, will you man your station?
Perhaps if we understood your thinking, if you could explain...
I have no intention of explaining. Will you use these specifications to bypass the secondary plasma inducer?
You have to realize, sir, this isn't exactly my area of expertise.
Mr. O'Brien, trust me, I know you can do it. All those years you spent as a child building those model Starship engines.
How did you know that, sir?
How did he know that?
From your Starfleet records.
I'll get right to these modifications.
If you attempt to ignite a petroleum product on this ship at 0 hours, you will activate the fire suppression system.
That was just an expression.
Then to burn the midnight oil implies late work. How did it come to be used in contemporary language?
Commander Data, welcome on board. So very good to see you. I could use your help with the infuser array.
Oh.
Jean-Luc, what's going on?
At first it appeared that I was in the future, years from now, and then I was in the past, just before our first mission.
Within a matter of minutes, you have accumulated over 2 days' worth of memories.
So the Romulans. Are the Romulans doing this in the...
Do you have any memory of my calling Red Alert in the space dock? Do you remember Starfleet diverting us from Farpoint to the neutral zone?
No.
It would appear there is a discontinuity between the time periods you described. Events in one time period would seem to have no effect on the other two.
There's a report of the same anomaly in the Devrons. I find it hard to believe that that's a coincidence.
As do I.
It's going to be a late night. Would you like to have some dinner first?
Actually, we have plans.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night, sir.
Worf.
I want Riker to be in love. And Picard. And Worf.
Speaking of disorientation, are you all right?
I'm just a little distracted. I'm fine.
You have the bridge, number one. I'll be in my ready room.
Milk, warm, a dash of nutmeg.
What's this?
A prescription. Glass of warm milk and 8 hours uninterrupted sleep.
Beverly.
Doctor's orders. Look, I don't know whether you've slept in the past or in the future. But I'm sure you haven't slept in the present.
Hey,
Come on.
Beverly.
As a physician, it's often my job to give people unpleasant news, to tell them that they need surgery or that they can't have children, or that they might be facing a difficult illness.
But you said yourself that this is only a possibility.
But you've been to the future. You know it's going to happen.
I prefer to look on the future as something which is not written in stone. A lot of things can happen in 25 years.
A lot of things can happen.
I was in the past again.
Data's arranged for us to run those tests on you in the biometrics lab.
No, we have to get to the neutral zone. Starfleet reported spatial anomaly in the Devron system, in the neutral zone. If the anomaly appeared there in the past, that it might be here too. Geordie, I know what we have to do.
How do we get a spaceship?
Right now, relations between us and the Klingons aren't too cozy.
Oh, what?
If we're going to the Devron system, we're gonna need a ship.
Right. Contact Admiral Riker.
Admiral Riker.
You know I'd like to help, but frankly, what you're asking for is impossible. Klingons have closed their borders to all Federation starships.
What if this spatial anomaly really is in the Devron system?
I saw a report from Starfleet Intelligence this morning on that sector. There is nothing unusual going on in the Devron system.
Well, I don't believe it. We have to go there and see for ourselves.
Look, I've got the Yorktown out near the border. I'll have her run some long-range scans in the Devron system. If she finds out anything, I'll let you know. It's all I can do. Riker out.
Silver Fox over there.
After all we've been through together. You've been sitting behind that desk too long.
I guess all we can do now is wait and see if the Yorktown finds anything.
There is another option. We could arrange passage aboard a medical ship.
Medical ship?
Yes, sir. The Klingons have been allowing Federation medical ships to cross the border.
Yes! Yes! Data, find the USS Pasteur. I have some pull with the captain. At least, I used to have.
Pasteur. Is it Beverly? But I want them to be married. She's aged like a fine wine.
Just choose one.
All right. Oh, crossing into Klingon territory. It's absurd. Then I never could say no to you.
So that's why you married me?
Explain?
What about Worf?
That's it. Worf!
Isn't Worf still a member of the Klingon High Council?
Last report, Worf was governor of Hatoria.
Captain Picard,
Yes.
McKinley Station is signaling.
Tell McKinley we've been called away on a priority mission.
You kept the name.
I've prepared quarters for you on Deck 5. You might want to get some rest.
Does that mean they're not married anymore?
Do you really think he's moving through time?
Yes.
I'm not sure I do either. But he's Jean-Luc Picard, and if he wants to go on one more mission, that's what we're going to do.
Report.
We're nearing the coordinates you gave me, sir.
Asked again.
Anything unusual in the vicinity, Mr. Data? A large plasma field, highly disruptive.
Nothing, sir.
You should be here now. Q!
Q?
Sense an alien presence.
No, sir.
Q? I didn't even think about Q. It is Q.
Mon Capitan, I thought you'd never get here.
Q, you dirty little alien. Oh, stop yanking him around.
The last time that I stood here was 7 years ago. You accused me of being the representative of a barbarous species.
I believe my exact words were a dangerous, savage child race.
Now, why am I standing here again?
I'd be so much more entertained if you just tried to figure it out.
I'll answer any 10 questions that call for a yes or a no.
Are you putting mankind on trial again?
No.
Is there any connection between the trial 7 years ago and what's happening now?
I'd have to say yes.
The spatial anomaly in the neutral zone. Is it related to what's going on?
Most definitely yes.
Is it part of a Romulan plot? A ploy to start a war?
No and no. 5 down.
That's only 4.
Those are separate questions.
There are 5.
Did you create the anomaly?
No. You're going to be so surprised when you realize where it came from.
Are you responsible for my shifting through time?
I'll answer that question if you promise you won't tell anyone. Yes.
Why?
Sorry! That's not a yes or no question. You forfeit the rest of your questions. The trial never ended, Captain. We never reached a verdict. You're guilty.
Guilty of what?
Being inferior. 7 years ago, I said we'd be watching you, hoping that your ape-like race would demonstrate some growth, give some indication that your minds had room for expansion. Commander Riker's career. Listening to Counselor Troy's pedantic psychobabble. Indulging Data in his witless exploration of humanity.
That's what makes him a good human.
But instead of using the last 7 years to change and to grow, you have squandered them.
We are what we are, and we're doing the best we can.
Time may be eternal, Captain, but our patience is not. It's time to put an end to your trek through the stars.
Ah, how dare you?
Q, I do not believe that even you are capable of such an act.
There you go again, always blaming me for everything. I'm not the one that causes the annihilation of mankind. You are. You're doing it right now.
What sort of meaningless double talk is this?
He doesn't understand!
Oh, he's so annoying.
Commander, assemble the senior staff and go to Red Alert. We have a bigger problem than I thought.
Red Alert!
Freaking Q.
He's probably listening to us right now, getting a big laugh out of watching us jump through his hoops.
There was a deadly earnestness about him.
Yeah, he wasn't nice at all. Before he's shown like a little bit of respect.
Given the fact that there is an apparent discontinuity between the 3 time periods the captain has visited, Q's statement may be accurate.
So what am I going to do? Lock myself in a room in all the 3 different time periods?
Maybe not acting is what causes the destruction of mankind.
So I think we have to proceed normally.
I've been thinking about my conversation with Q. He admitted that he was responsible for my shifting through time. Now, it occurred to me that he might be giving me a chance somehow to save humanity. I think he has more than a passing interest in what happens to me.
Q's interest in you has always been very similar to that of a master and his beloved pet. That was only an analogy, Captain.
Captain Picard.
Go ahead.
We're approaching the neutral zone, Captain.
Initiate long-range scans.
4 warbirds holding position on the Romulan side of the neutral zone.
The Federation starships Concord and Bozeman are holding position on our side.
The question is, who's going to move first?
Hail the Romulan flagship.
The warbird T-Rex is responding. Captain Picard.
Hello, Worf.
Ah,
But you must realize I am no longer a member of the High Council.
But surely, Worf, you must still have some influence. We have to get into the neutral zone. Can't you just get us permission to cross the border?
I must refuse. It is for your own safety. The neutral zone is extremely volatile. Admiral Riker had given you a starship with a cloak. You would have been safe. It is hard to believe that even he would refuse to help you.
I don't care what kind of ship we go in. We have to get to the Devron system.
My first duty is to the Empire. I must adhere to regulations.
The Worf that I remember was more concerned with things like honor and loyalty than rules and regulations. But that was a long time ago. Maybe you're not the Worf I once knew. Dojoka! Your problem is that you really do have a sense of honor, and you really do care about trust and loyalty.
You may cross the border, but only if I come with you. I am familiar with the neutral zone.
Terms accepted.
Set course for the Devron system, warp 13.
ooh, warp 13.
Once more, for old time's sake.
The chairs do look much comfier.
Engage.
Engaged
Stop.
to where, sir?
Stop making me feel like this is the end. I don't want him to get old.
The Devron system is inside the neutral zone.
I'm aware of that, Lieutenant. Carry out my orders, Chief.
Captain, I just wanted to voice my concerns about the way the crew is responding to your unexpected orders.
They think that I'm behaving erratically.
Some do. Others are confused. It takes some time for a new crew to get to know their captain.
But I also know what this crew is capable of, even if they don't.
It would also help if they knew what was going on.
Right now, I don't think I have any other choice.
You are to Captain Picard. I have Commander Riker for you, sir.
Commander Riker, I wanted to inform you that we will be delayed picking you up at Farpoint Station. Will you inform Dr. Crusher and Lieutenant LaForge of our delay?
Understood. Riker out.
I was debating whether to mention it, and it's about Commander Riker. I think you should know that he and I have had a prior relationship.
I see. Do you think this will interfere with your duties?
It happened several years ago, and it's well behind both of us now. I just thought you should know.
Well, I'm quite sure that the two of you will find some way to deal with the situation. Tea, Earl Grey, hot.
That beverage has not been programmed into the replication system.
So, Captain, how long shall we stare at each other?
There is an alternative, Tomalak. We could each send one ship into the neutral zone to investigate the anomaly in the Devron system.
Starfleet Command approved this arrangement?
No.
I like it already. One ship from each side, but I warn you, if another Federation starship tries to enter the zone...
There is no need to make threats. We each know the consequences.
I'll see you in the Devron system.
Who's that?
Helm, set a course for the Devron system. Warp 5.
Sensors are picking up a large subspace anomaly directly ahead.
We have to get as much information as possible about that anomaly.
We are approaching the
Q?
Devron system, Captain. Sensors are picking up a large subspace anomaly directly ahead.
On screen. It is larger in the past. Full scan, Mr. Data.
Aye, sir.
We have to learn everything we can.
On screen! On screen! Let's see it!
As you can see, sir, there's nothing there.
That means something. It was larger in the past, then got a little less in the present, and it's gone in the future.
Several warships have been dispatched to this sector to search for a renegade Federation vessel.
You're not thinking of leaving?
There's nothing here, Jean-Luc.
There has to be! Data, is there some other way to scan for a temporal disturbance? Something that isn't covered in a normal sensor suite?
Several methods of detecting temporal disturbances, but we're limited by the equipment on the Pasteur. However, it may be possible to modify the main deflector to emit an inverse tachyon pulse which could scan beyond the subspace barrier.
We have to stay here until we find it, no matter how long it takes.
Carry out my orders. May I see you a moment?
This future can't be real. Future can change, just like he said. It's not set in stone.
I don't care if you're my ex-captain or my ex-husband.
But what you have to understand is what is at stake here.
But I also want you to allow for the possibility that none of what you're saying is real.
Oh, no.
I care for you too much not to tell you the truth.
No.
You have advanced aromatic syndrome. It's possible that all of this is in your mind. I'll stay here 6 hours longer, and then we're heading home. I want you to remember, if it were anyone else but you, we wouldn't even be here.
What was that she said, Sonny? I couldn't quite hear her.
What is going on here? Where is the anomaly?
Punch him in the face.
There is an answer, Jean-Luc, but I can't hand it to you, although you do have help.
What help?
You're not alone, you know. What you were and what you are to become will always be with you.
My time shifting. The answer does lie there, doesn't it? Now, tell me one thing. This anomaly we're looking for, will that destroy humanity?
You're forgetting, Jean-Luc. You destroy humanity.
By doing what? When? How can...
Put that on him?
The anomaly is 200 million kilometers in diameter.
What is the source of this energy?
I'm uncertain, sir. Sensors are unable to penetrate the anomaly.
What if we modified the main deflector to emit an inverse tachyon pulse? Might be able to scan beyond the subspace barrier.
Yes.
I do not believe a tachyon beam was ever used in such a way. I had no idea you were so versed in the intricacies of temporal theories.
I have some friends who are well versed. Make it so.
Initiating tachyon pulse.
Pulse is holding steady. We're starting to receive data from the scan.
I suggest we... Geordie?
Oh,
What is wrong?
somebody's sticking an ice pick in my temples. My visor's picking up all kinds of electromagnetic fluctuations.
What?
Geordie, it's as if you're growing new eyes. It shouldn't be possible at all.
Doctor, we've just gotten
Wait.
reports from 2 crew members who say they have old scars which are healing themselves.
What?
The relationship between anti-time and normal time is analogous to the relationship between antimatter and normal matter.
Time and anti-time were to collide.
They would annihilate one another. The rupture may be sending out waves of temporal energy which are disrupting the normal flow of time. How did you formulate...
I don't have time to discuss it now, Mr. Data. Do the modifications and send out the pulse. How large is this anomaly?
Approximately 400 billion kilometers in diameter, sir.
I don't understand why it's bigger in the past.
Just say we're a medical ship.
Weapon status.
These weapons are no match for their shields.
We need more warp power now.
Trying, Captain. They're too much for us.
Can Worf talk to them?
9%. This is Captain Beverly Picard. We are a medical ship on a mission of mercy. Please break off all... Signal our surrender.
Another ship is decloaking, bearing 215 Mark 310. It's the Enterprise.
Decloaking?
I had a feeling you weren't going to listen to me. I'll see if I can get the Klingons' attention.
The Enterprise is drawing their fire.
The warp core has been badly damaged. There's a breach in progress.
We have to stop it.
Our sensors indicate your ship has a warp core breach in progress. Prepare for emergency beam out.
All the Pastor's crew is safely on board, Admiral.
As I said, I figured you wouldn't take no for an answer. But I thought you had more sense than to send a defenseless ship across the border into hostile territory with no escort.
You had not turned down the captain when he came to you for help. None of this would have happened. I still have a sense of honor and loyalty.
The Pastor's core is going to breach.
Take us out of here, full impulse.
No, Will, we can't. We have to save humanity.
Engage cloak.
Admiral, we took a direct hit to the starboard plasma coil. Our cloak isn't functioning. Engineering reports it'll be 7 hours before we can cloak again.
We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Set a course for Federation space, warp 13.
Will, don't leave.
Can't stay, Captain.
We have to. Everything depends on it.
Oh no.
You'll have a little tenderness for a few days. That's to be expected. Alyssa lost the baby. I think it's the same phenomenon that affected Geordi. It's as if the unborn child began to grow younger. Finally, the DNA itself began to break down.
How is she?
Physically, she's fine for now. But if this temporal reversion continues, I don't think any of us are going to be fine for much longer.
So this is affecting the entire crew.
Our cellular structures appear to be coalescing, reverting to earlier forms.
What?
In some cases, this has caused old injuries to be healed. But eventually, it may kill all of us.
Contact Starbase 23. That's the nearest outpost. Have them check their personnel to see if there are any signs of temporal reversion. Mr. Data, how close are you to completing the tachyon scan?
Approximately 1 hour, 45 minutes, sir.
When it's done, I want you to find some way of collapsing this anomaly without making things worse.
I believe he has to shoulder all this alone. And in the future, no one believes him, and they just drugged him.
Tinkering with an anomaly you know nothing about, trying to collapse it. Isn't that risky?
Why? Will that cause the destruction of mankind?
Maybe. On the other hand, maybe leaving it alone would be the wrong thing to do. It's a pretty big decision, all right.
Just tell him.
Would it help to have a different
I
perspective?
think you're so smart and tricky.
Welcome home.
Home.
Don't you recognize your old stomping ground? France, about, 3.5 billion years ago. All that sulfur and volcanic ash.
So the anomaly is here too.
At this point in history, the anomaly fills your entire quadrant of the galaxy.
Further back in time,
Bigger.
the larger the anomaly.
You see this? This is you. I'm serious. Right here, life is about to form on this planet for the very first time. A group of amino acids are about to combine to form the first protein, the building blocks of what you call life. Everything you know. It all begins right here in this little pond.
What is the point, Q?
You saying that I caused the anomaly, and that the anomaly somehow disrupted the beginnings of life.
Congratulations.
How could he have caused the anomaly, though? It was 3 billion years ago.
If we had information on the center of the phenomenon, we might have a basis for speculation.
There's nothing on board that'll do the job.
Do you know what could? Data, do we have a tomographic imaging scanner on board?
Yes, sir.
Can you use it to scan the interior of the anomaly?
Possibly. There was a great deal of interference, but I am getting some readings.
He's using the information he gets in the past.
Tachyon pulse is converging with 2 other tachyon pulses at the center of the anomaly. These have the exact same amplitude modulation as our own pulse. It is as if all 3 originated from the Enterprise.
3 pulses, 3 time periods, converging at one point in space.
What are you suggesting?
Admiral Riker is in 10 forward.
How long is this thing between you and Worf going to go on?
It's been going on for over 20 years.
I suspect the last thing Counselor Troy would have wanted is the two of you to be alienated.
I tried at Deanna's funeral. He wouldn't even talk with me.
He took her death pretty hard.
Well, he wasn't the only one.
But I think in his mind, you were the reason that he and Deanna never got together.
I never did anything to stand in his way.
Didn't you, Will?
I didn't want to admit that it was over. I always thought that we would get together again. And then she was gone. You think you have all the time in the world until... Yep.
Please listen to him, guys. He's your captain.
Oh my God.
I know why it's happening. I know what's causing the anomaly. We have to go back. We caused the anomaly with the tachyon pulse. It happened 3 times. We did it in 3 different time periods.
Listen to him.
Damn it, I'm not stupid. The tachyon pulses, they were used in the same spot, different time periods. Don't you see? I mean, when the pasteur used the tachyon pulse, I mean...
Please, guys, please.
I think I know what the captain is talking about.
Yes. Thank you, Data.
He's describing a paradox. It is possible.
Breaks my heart that they weren't taking him seriously.
Could have caused the very anomaly we've been looking for. Let us also assume he has initiated a tachyon pulse.
The effects would travel backwards through the space-time continuum.
Yes, that's why it gets larger in the past.
If we go back to the Devon system now, we might be able to see the initial formation of the anomaly.
It's humankind.
Riker to bridge, set a course for the Devron system maximum warp. Or if we could use a hand.
Future's not set in stone. Future's not set in stone. Deanna doesn't have to die.
Entering the Devron system, sir.
So if the temporal anomaly is there from the future, that's...
I was right.
That's what causes it.
It's an anti-time eruption. It seems to have been formed within the last 6 hours.
That's what causes human life to not form.
The convergence of the tachyon pulses from the 3 time periods is what is causing the anomaly.
But we haven't finished the scans,
Now.
sir.
But it is imperative that you disengage the tachyon pulse immediately. Why isn't the anomaly being affected?
Why would it be, sir?
You wouldn't understand.
The anomaly is so much larger in the other 2 time periods, it may be dangerous to take the ship in, laying a course for the exact center.
Captain, so far we've obeyed every order, no matter how far-fetched it might have seemed. But if we're to risk the safety of the ship and crew, I think we have to ask you for an explanation.
I understand your concerns, but
Good enough.
I know it is difficult for you to understand. We have to take the ship into the very center of the phenomenon and create a static warp shell. I know you have your doubts about me. All I can say is that although we have only been together for a short time, I know that you are the finest crew in the fleet, and I would trust each of you with my life. I'm asking you for a leap of faith and to trust me.
Aye, aye, sir.
All decks report ready, sir.
Take us in, Chief.
If we take the ship to the center of the anomaly and create
Create a static warp shell. We could repair the barrier and collapse the anomaly. Mr. Data, you are a clever man in any time period. The other 2 enterprises, they're on their way.
Very well. Ensign, take us in.
We're entering the anomaly, sir.
The temporal energy is interfering with main power.
I'm having trouble keeping the Impulse engines online.
Maintain course and speed. Mr. Data, how long until we reach the center?
At least 30 seconds.
Brace, brace, brace.
We have reached the center, sir.
Initiate warp shell.
Is it having any effect?
Something is happening. A new subspace barrier appears to be forming.
Sensors are picking up 2 other ships.
He was right. Tell him he was right. All of you. Tell old man Picard he was right.
Captain, it appears to be working. The anomaly is beginning to collapse. I think
Temporal energy is rupturing our warp containment system.
We have to maintain the static warp shell as long as possible.
We're losing containment, Captain. I can't stop it. It's going to...
Transfer emergency power to the antimatter containment system.
the anomaly is collapsing.
I can't hold it.
Maintain your position.
Both of the other ships have been destroyed.
2 down, 1 to go.
The anomaly is nearly collapsed.
Goodbye, Jean-Luc. I'm gonna miss you. You had such potential.
Containment field is critical. I'm losing it.
The continuum didn't think you had it in you, Jean-Luc.
You're saying that it worked. We collapsed the anomaly.
Is that all this meant to you? Just another spatial anomaly, just another day at the office? Well, you're here, aren't you? You're talking to me, aren't you?
What about my crew?
The anomaly, my ship, my crew. I suppose you're worried about your fish, too. If it puts your mind at ease, you've saved humanity once again.
Like a superhero.
Thank you.
For what?
You had a hand in helping me get out of this.
I was the one that got you into it. A directive from the continuum. The part about the helping hand, though, was my idea.
But if Q never transferred him into the time, wouldn't they have never put the tachyon pulse into random space?
Last time that I find myself here.
And then it wouldn't have created the anomaly?
Don't get it, do you,
But the
Jean?
continuum wanted him
The trial never ends. We wanted to see if you had the ability to expand your mind and your horizons. And for one brief moment, you did.
When I realized the paradox.
Exactly. For that one fraction of a second, you were open to options you had never considered. That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, charting the unknown possibilities of existence. In any case, I'll be watching. You're very lucky. I'll drop by to say hello.
Please don't mess with my mind.
What's the date?
Stardate 47988.
Wait, does that mean him and Beverly haven't kissed?
Captain's log supplemental. Starfleet.
Because this was before the kiss in the present. I know that's not all I should care about, but I do a little bit.
It would appear that I am the only member of the crew to retain any knowledge of the events I experienced.
4 hands in a row. How does he do it?
I cheat. I'm kidding.
I was thinking about what the captain told us all about the future. Why would he want to tell us what's to come?
I believe, however, this situation is unique. Since the anomaly did not occur, there have already been changes in the way this timeline is unfolding.
Maybe that's why he told us. Knowing what happens in that future allows us to change things now. Is there a problem, sir?
No. I just thought that I might join you this evening. If there's room.
Have a seat.
Would you care to deal, sir?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Data. I used to be quite a card player in my youth, you know.
Oh, crap. I hate the endings of things.
I should have done this a long time ago.
You were always welcome.
5-card stud, nothing wild, and the sky's the limit.
There's no next episode! Guys, I don't like this feeling of when you end series that you love because you've grown attached to the characters and it just feels like a whole, and this all sounds so cheesy and cliche. I know, but I know there's movies still, but it's not the same. And I know that some of you out there don't believe that I get to be in love with these guys because I didn't watch every episode. I think I will, but I do feel like I connected with them. See, it all sounds so silly when I say it out loud. I need to meet Patrick Stewart. Guys, I love him so much. Okay, that episode was crazy and did not make a lot of sense and stressed me out. I hated seeing the version of the future where, like they said in the episode, they had drifted apart, that Worf and Riker were fighting, Deanna wasn't. Beverly and Picard were exes. Oh, no, it can't. They're gonna change. He's gonna change. They're gonna fix it. But it especially hurt seeing how they reacted towards him. Picard, I can imagine for a second that as people get older, you know, I'm guilty of it myself, like not taking sometimes people who I love that are older seriously because I just think I know better or whatever. But we have to give them the respect that they deserve because they have so much more wisdom than we can imagine. And, you know, we're just can only hope to live the life that they did. And anyways, off topic, but let's all call our grandmas, okay? And grandpas. Okay. Oh, I can't believe it's over. Okay, looking back to the first episode I watched of The Next Generation, and I was so like, this crew is cold and more like rule following and not as fun and easygoing. And little did I know that I went from being not endeared to them to wanting to marry Jean-Luc Picard. So, or Riker. Okay. I'll take Data. Just kidding. I just love them, guys. They're my friends and I'll miss them. And it's not over yet. And we will boldly go where no man has gone before. These are the voyages of Starship Enterprise. Okay, bye.